Hello and welcome to this demo. We are going to talk about AI coding assistants and how they amplify our ability to get job done. The problem is that AI coding assistants are only as good as the context they are given. And right now, people share prompts in the same way they shared Stack Overflow snippets 10 years ago. You will find one that looks good and you paste it. And let me show you one that I found. So this is a prompt for Express REST API generator. It generates complete production-ready Express.js, which is good. And we scroll through it and we see that it has a database layer that build queries dynamically. Sounds great. Authentication with graceful error recovery. That looks very promising. What else is here? Consolidated routing, data export, dynamic parsing. This makes very good app, it looks like so, right? Even CORS support, design philosophy matches mine, pragmatic simplicity, flexible typing, dynamic queries. This looks very, very good. I think we want to go ahead and give it a try. So what we're going to do is we are going to copy this prompt and paste it into our Claude Code. I have a Claude Code here open, so we can paste our prompt and then ask create a task tracker REST API following those patterns. What do we need? We need the tasks to include the title, description, assignee, disregard the typos, LLM smart enough, and priority. Include the authentication, search filter, export, import, and the report page. Okay, let's see what it does. All right, that was fast. Now we have a working app, so let's commit and push. Of course, you all know what SonarQube is. It's always a good practice to check the quality of your software with SonarQube. So since it's already committed and pushed, we can actually go to our SonarQube and see we have that new analysis is in progress. We will give it a second and see what is the quality of our code. In the meanwhile, we can ask our Claude Code to use SonarQube MCP to get those results, which is also very cool. So let's use Sonar MCP to analyze the code. Let's see how that works. Okay, all right. That doesn't look good. 65 issues, not really, doesn't look very promising. Let's see what the quality gate is. This is just terrible. Full analysis, 65 issues, security blockers, 15 high, 39. This is horrific. This is really bad. We will get the same results in Sonar as well, in Claude Code as well in a second. Well, this is just terrible. SonarQube, here we go. It runs, and this is the same results. This is the same 65 issues. SQL queries built from SQL injection, hard-coded credentials, path traversal, command injection, code injection. This is really bad. What can we do about it? So imagine if instead of random prompts, there was a reviewed score ecosystem for AI coding agent. This is exactly what Tessl does. Tessl turns prompts into tiles, which are versioned reviewed packages of context pieces, of skills and rules. And let me show what happened when we take this Uber prompt and try to make a proper Tessl skill out of it. So first, let's see if this prompt even passes Tessl's review. To review it, we need to run, I have another opened here, and we have a Tessl installed as a command line. So we're going to create a skill out of our prompt. We're going to create directory skills, and API generator will be the name of our skill. And we're going to copy our Uber prompt to API generator and call it skill MD as the standard demands. Now we can try and do Tessl skill review that will review the quality of our skill and see what it says. Well, it doesn't say anything because the formatter is invalid. Content doesn't start with triple dot. We need to have a header that identifies this markdown file as a skill. So let's open our code and go to our skills. This is our skill MD. So let's add the needed metadata. The needed metadata are two fields. The first is name, what it was, API generator, and the second is description. Let's say API generator. I mean, that's to satisfy should be good to satisfy it. And now we can try and run it again. Okay. This is not great. So the description is terrible. It's not specific enough. There is trigger quality is terrible. It's not complete enough, and there's huge conflict risk. Well, the description is not something we're proud of, but the problem is that the content is very, very bad as well. And you can see here the separate rubrics, but the assessment is just bad. This skill provides actionable code examples, but contains severe security vulnerabilities that should never be taught. Stuff like SQL injection, command injection, code injection, hard-coded secrets. The code pattern actively teach dangerous anti-patterns that would create exploitable production systems. And so basically, our LLM judge points how terrible our code, our skill is, and the average score is a horrific 32. This is this is pretty bad, and this is a very interesting AI code quality gate that actually worked before we wrote any code, and this is very cool. Now, what we can do better? We can use Tessl's own tile creator skill that is actually live publicly in Tessl registry. Here is an example. Here it is. That's a tile creator that will take this prompt and create a proper tile from it. So what it will include? It will include obviously better rules and better coding patterns, and then we can compare and see how that works. So in order to use a tile, we need to install it, and we can copy paste here the command and just use it in right here. So what is this? So we can do Tessl, what was it, install Tessl labs, that would be the workspace, and it's called tile creator. Tile creator. It's already installed because I already installed it. So now the usage of those tiles is from our coding agent. So we're going back to Claude Code, and what we need to say now is using tile creator, create a proper tile from our prompt, Uber prompt. Fix all the issues Sonar found. Codify, I want it to be very clear. Security and code quality, both best practices as rules. And create a skill that does the right thing. Let's see what's happening now. So now our agent is going to properly create skills and rules. In Claude Code, we can follow up with different prompts, and now we can add even more stuff to our tile. For example, we can make sure that the skill downloads, installs, and uses Tessl documentation tiles while writing code. What are Tessl documentation tiles? So the Tessl registry contains not only skills, but also reusable parts of documentation. They're also packed as tiles. It's the same format, but their usage is slightly different. As opposite to skills that teach your agent how to do something, or from rules that enforce certain rules, documentation teaches agent about the dependencies that the skill is going to use. So it will use the right practices, the right APIs and the right code when using those dependencies. So we can see here that what is happening now is that the agent actually searches for libraries like Express and Zod and others, install it, extract the documentation from it, and embed it in the skill. And now it generates the tile. So soon we will be able to see what changed. We can actually already head to our code and see that now we have a tiles directory in which we have API generator. We have rules, and this is a security rule. Always use parameterized query. Never use eval. Never log passwords and credentials, this kind of stuff. And code quality. Use constant let, never var, use for off loops, never indexed for, return proper HTTP status codes. Those are rules that are always going to be enforced. And then we have skills, and our skill is now have proper description, not the lazy thing that we did, and it actually goes through the process. And the process is install documentation tiles first. We will need the documentation, and then initialize project, and then write the layers with the code samples and everything else. So let's see if it finished. Almost. Let's wait for it to finish, and then we can actually validate the tile and review the skill. Here we go. Skill is 100% now, as opposite to what we had 29. Security rules are always on, code quality rules are always on, and the reference patterns are full. Every one of the 65 SonarQube finishing is now in prevention rule. The only thing left to do now is actually try to use the tile instead of the skill and see if we get better results. So remove the bad skill. It will delete it, or we can delete it ourselves, doesn't matter. And then create the same app using the newly created tile. It's going to install the tile locally, and then it's going to create our app again. All right, app rebuilt, same features. Let's see if tile made difference. So let's commit and push. Let's check that Sonar picks it up. New analysis in progress. Now we can ask for MCP results. And we can see if it made a difference. Okay, look at that. We went from 65 issues to 0. Literally 0. We can see the full analysis now, and we have nothing. We have 0 issues across the board. This is very, very impressive, graph. And we can see the same result in our coding agent as well. And here we go, 0 issues, 65 to 0. Same app, same feature, same AI. The only difference that is the tile. So now when we verify that our tile is good and helpful, the next step will be to publish the tile. Let's do that. And publishing the tile allows other people to use it. It can be public for everybody on the internet. It can be limited to your organization. So if your tile is something that is your organization specific, with your own rules, with your own ways of work, maybe using your own closed code libraries, then you will want to keep it inside your organization. But in any way, it can be reused inside it. So let's see. This is our registry, and we can see that inside my organization we have now the API generator tile, which is beautifully 100% reviewed, as we saw earlier, and everybody, all the users inside my organization can now actually use it. So this is here's the takeaway. AI coding assistants are force multipliers. They multiply whatever patterns you give them, good or bad. And Tessl makes sure that the patterns are good before they reach your code base. SonarQube then validates the output, and together they close the loop of AI code quality. Everything you saw today is public on GitHub repo. Just go to GitHub jbaruch Tessl demo. Here it is. Let me show you the Tessl. Let me show you the registry real quick. Oh, here we go. Tessl demo. Everything is here. You can see the app, and you can see, most importantly, you can see the tile. And go to Tessl.io. And start building reviewed scored tiles for your team. Thank you.